Who's that? Who's I do?
KP.
KP, how's it going, KP?
It's going great. My prayers and thoughts with you and your family. I don't know if you check your personal messages, but I sent you a prayer over there.
Thank you so much.
So just praying for them that, that they pull through and everything, and they have a speedy recovery.
Amen to that. Thank you. I super appreciate it. I'm going to screenshot that personal message and I'm going to send it to my mama. I think she's going to cry for days when she gets all that. I think that alone is going to melt her heart, and I could not possibly ask for more. So I am super grateful for you.
My pleasure.
Okay, so here's the deal. First off, I got to go over my disclaimer just real fast. As you guys know, anything we discuss on this call is not to be considered your legal or financial advice in any shape, way, or form. Trading is a high risk opportunity, and it can definitely change your life, but just don't trade what you can't afford to lose. For some of us, it might be 10 or 20 bucks. For some of us, it may be, multiple 5 and 6 figures, but you have to be real about your situation to know what you can afford to play within this market, knowing that your odds of leaving it in the market versus withdrawing are very, very high. So just keep that in mind. Remember, I'm not your financial advisor or your attorney. Everything we discuss on this call is for educational purposes only. I'm simply another person on the other end of the screen who happens to be technically proficient, and that's literally it. There's nothing more fancy to it. So any comments or questions in terms of the disclaimer? Anybody at all? I think you guys got that down.
That was perfect.
I think we got that part down at least, I hope. Okay, KP, so do you want to share your screen? Can you pull up TradingView? Do you know what TradingView is?
I know what it is, but I don't have it.
Okay.
I needed it though.
Okay, so we're going to share mine then. It'll lag a little bit, but it's still reasonably doable. So we will survive it, I promise. So stop.
Okay, I have to warn you that I'm still a rookie. So
well, how about this? I promise to remember that I was a rookie at pretty much everything I've ever tried in life. That's kind of the blessing of being human, right? So I promise to remember that I did not start out even knowing what the lines meant. Better yet, the candle was, or what all the initials are, put or stop and sell and limit, all the fancy words that you think you know the definition to, and then you step into a new industry, you don't know nothing. So I promise to remember that I at one time did not know nothing, just to speak a little inaccurately for, major effect, right?
Hey, I'm with you. So
okay, so since you're volunteering, you get to pick the pair. You pick what pair do you want to mark up the most right now?
The most some US 30.
US 30. Well, that's going to be a rough one. You're breaking up a little bit, so we might want to check on that connection. US 30 might be a bit rough to mark up, but we can. It's just not going to have, well, here, let's do US 30. You picked it, you got to live with it. So that's it. Okay. It's on you.
Okay.
100%. So we're going to go to regular candles. These are regular Japanese candles. We're on the 1 week chart. Obviously, we don't even need to see that 1 month chart. You're going to need to control my screen. So you're going to have to request remote control. And I'm literally going to walk you through just how very simple this is. Or I can do it once with you, and then we can kind of do it again. Ooh, baby, this might be a nice area. If we break this area, that's going to be very, very pretty.
Okay, let me, okay, it's saying request. I'm looking for it. View options.
If you go to, I don't know what yours looks like, but mine is right next to the annotate button that says remote control. Okay, I'm going to approve you. You have complete control over my entire system. So don't hack me or anything.
Access is granted.
Yeah, there you go.
Thank you.
You are welcome. I'm going to try to be patient and not overzealous, and I'm not going to touch my mouse to the best of my human ability. So right now you're looking at US 30. You're on the 4-hour time frame because, well, this moves, huge amounts. The day chart is pretty big. But if you were looking to find, first off, your supply and demand, right, which is the very top and the very bottom, and or support and resistance? Because I know you were on last week, but I don't think you could share your screen, or you couldn't talk, right?
Well, to this morning, yeah, I was in a demo webinar for my regular job. So
Okay, gotcha.
yeah,
So
I
have
would
you,
have came out this morning when you were calling for people to come out, but you know, I couldn't. I had background noise and all that jazz. So
listen to all those excuses you got. Psh, I mean, I
I know
can't
it.
deal with you.
101 of them, right?
Yes, sir. I'll just pick on you. So you've never seen me do this before?
I have seen you do this before.
Okay, then I'm not going to do it then. I'm not going to tell you. So if you see me
I
do
still don't
this,
know what I'm doing. Okay, so I guess I'm looking for highs and lows is what you're asking me
yep.
to look for, right?
Yes,
So going up, this is one high. This is another.
well, hey, you've got
This is
control. I don't know what you're thising, but nothing is happening yet. Oh, there you go. Now you got them.
okay. Okay, so on the uptrend, this is the high right here. This is a little bitty one. This is a bigger one. This one is a little one, and then this is another bigger one. So on the left side of the screen, that's
Okay, so first off, let's refresh the chart. So remember, drag your mouse to the bottom center of the chart. You should get like some arrows pop up a little bit lower, a little bit higher. Oh, they're not popping up, which means you're in the dead center of where you should be. So if you were to look at this chart and find the topmost point, what is the topmost point?
right here.
Okay, so let's draw a line there.
Okay, I'm not familiar with these tools. Let's see.
Okay. I said vertical earlier, but it's technically horizontal because I'm so good at that. There you go. Horizontal. Oh, you just dropped it. You can drag it, so it's okay.
Okay, okay. Oh, I see what you're saying about the lag. I'm sorry.
No, you're okay.
Okay, so that's the high point right there, the highest point on this in this section.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So what's the lowest point on the chart you currently see?
Right here.
Okay. So let's go ahead and mark that.
Do I have to go back up and click it again like in Hugo's way, right?
Yes, sir. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, there's a way to where you can drop many, many lines, but that just, I don't think we desperately need to click that on and then have to click that back off. So,
Okay, that's the lowest point.
okay. So you like that you like the highest high and the lowest low that you've seen so far? You think that that's correct, right?
Yeah, yeah. If I was getting in on the upside on this one, yeah, this would be fantastic. And reversal on this side, yeah.
Well, obviously. I mean, if only we could be psychic and know for sure that it would turn around right there, but too bad we can't, huh?
Right.
Too bad. Okay, so now that we've got our top high and our top low, what are some other areas where prices touched at least 2 times? So you want at least two. I mean, two is at the very, very minimum. There's going to be some points on the chart where you're not going to get that, and that's okay. But what are some points on the chart where you have at least two touches? So you want something on the lines. Ooh, I'm going to try not to control what you're doing. Let's see if I can annotate. Just so
Now, when you say touch, what do you mean? That it crescendoed at the top or what?
So I mean, ready? The peak. Oh, that didn't work.
Okay.
Okay. So a peak is like a touch, right?
Okay. Gotcha.
This was not quite a peak. You had a lot of candles stall out. So something that has been touched and stopped. Price has stopped there a couple of times mentality, right?
Mhm.
If you don't see
Mhm.
somewhere, so if you use your crosshairs right now and you can't see it, let me give you control back. There you go. So if you can't see somewhere that the price has touched at least 2 times, we can go to a lower time frame to find out more.
Okay. So am I doing a horizontal line here as well?
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
Okay, horizontal line. I'm gonna say here once. It's a little bit higher, but then let me see if I can drag it down. There we go. And then
Not really, dude.
right here on the upside again.
Like, no, not really. All right, yeah.
Hold on, somebody's talking. Donna, will you mute
That's
these
me.
people?
That's me. That's Lucas.
Oh, hey, Lucas, how are you?
I miss you.
I miss you. How have you been?
I'm okay.
Yeah,
Kick him out the group. Kick him out.
Be careful now. Okay, KP, you've got it. It's okay. Remember, we kind of want 2 or more touches. I mean, we can live with 1, but ideally we definitely want 2 or more touches. It's just going to give us a stronger area of interest, right? Because remember, this isn't like some perfect price on the chart. It's just an area, look at me kind of thing. Ooh,
Okay,
I like
are we
that one.
doing up touches or down touches?
Any touches. So the price stop there and turn around. So up or down. We don't discriminate.
Okay. All right.
I like that one. I really like that one. That one's good. Can you tell me how many times that line's been touched? I mean, remember, not exact, but how many times did price kind of bounce off of that area?
This line right here, 1,
Yeah.
2, almost 3.
Yeah. That was
And-
quick.
Yeah, missed it by a little wick, but you know.
It's probably a wick in real life if we change it to candles, but go ahead. So 3, and I see even more than that. Keep going to the right.
Now it doesn't matter if it touch on the bottom side either, huh?
So keep going to the right. Let's see what you see.
So right here,
Yeah.
it came through, it broke through right here on both sides, up and down.
I like
and
that
then,
one.
and then back down, it broke through again.
Yes, sir. That's a good one. I like it. Do you see any other points where maybe price kind of touched more than once, up or down? Doesn't matter.
Yeah, right here.
Well,
Came
remember,
right through.
we want to keep that line. So let's grab a new line.
Oh, grab a new one. Okay. All right.
Yeah. You got it. Trading view is kind of fun to chart with. It's
Okay.
kind of fun. I feel like a little kid. Oh, I feel like a little kid anyway. So you go pick another spot. I can see another one.
That it touched up or down.
I see that one down a little bit.
Go down a little bit more.
Right here? I mean, this is the bottom one.
I like that one. Remember, the most important place that you need to be is closest to where price currently is. So do you know where price currently is on this chart right now?
Yeah, right here.
So
what is that saying? 23,534.
Yeah, you really need to know where the zone is above that and the zone is below that. That's the most important ones, because we can draw lines up in the moon all day. But if we are aiming down and we're closer to this.
Okay, why?
Why? Okay, good question. 1 second. My son is literally at my office window. Yes, darling, how can I help you? So why? Your new best friend is there. All right, check in 20 minutes. Okay, I love you. Stay safe. Sorry. He's literally just crawled around the window. They were playing outside. So sorry. That's real life for you. So you asked why, because if this is where price is, I'm going to take control for a second and just annotate, not to mess up what you're doing. So price is here. Oh, come on, silly booty. Let's try that again. So price is here. We have 2 ways it can go. Well, 3, technically we can consolidate, or we're going up. So we want to know where it's going to go if it starts to turn around. Or if we do break, we know we're hoping for a retest. We want to know where price is going to go if it continues down. So any zones we can find closer to price, those are the most important ones. We can have 5 million zones up here, but if price is way down here, that doesn't matter so much. And price is also moving down, that is not nearly as significant. We want to know if price, I'm going to erase all that nonsense I drew. If price is here and it's pointing down, we want to know if it continues down, where are we going to stop? We want to know if it breaks that next zone, where are we going next?
We can get in down to this next line right here.
Yep. That's literally as all indicators off your charts, every triple arrow, even my own strategy, anybody else's strategy, all the accumulative knowledge you've learned, that is the purest form of trading. So every indicator and rule-based strategy, ultimately, when you get a quote unquote signal with my strategy or with the triple arrows or the new simplicity, if you get a signal here and you break a line, you break a zone, I'm going to use the proper terminology, you want to have a good target where the next zone is. Again, if you break that, you're hoping for a retest, but again, you want to have a good target for your next where it's going. And I assure you that once you understand how to first off find support and resistance, and then secondly find trend lines, granted in the advanced membership group, you guys have access to those tools that are pretty, they do that for you. But seeing this with your own eyes and doing this with your own hands, especially getting in the habit of doing it every Sunday, for example, or once in the weekend kind of concept, you're going to come back a week later and say, holy cow, those lines I drew last week were respected all week. You're going to notice that for the most part, you're going to be wrong enough. Don't worry. You're going to kind of hone in, but you're also going to find out that the lines you drew last Sunday were respected on Thursday. They were bounced off of, or we kind of broke and retest them on Wednesday. You'll see that you knew the zones, and it builds that confidence up. It builds up the ability to take a trade and understand, okay, so I'm going to take this, cool. And I might have some drawdown. It might hurt. It might be scary. It might be frustrating, but now I know enough to know rain, pour, or shine, even if this freaks me out and gives me enough of a drawdown, I am very confident that we are in a new zone. It's going to the next zone. I don't have to freak. I don't have to stress. I'm confident of that. So that's the why. Does that answer your question?
It does. And, I want to get to the point to where, I'm confident enough to put in the trade. The mindset is there. If I do the analysis and my due diligence, if I put a trade on, if it wins, it wins. If it loses, it loses. I'm not tripping, but, I want to make sure that I'm doing a good job with what you're showing me now.
Okay. So let's complete this markup. So you're on the 4-hour chart and we'll see how well you did. And it's okay if you didn't do great, because none of us start out, we don't know algebra from first grade. None of us start out an expert at anything. I mean, maybe Einstein, but the majority of us are superhuman. We are, I don't mean superhuman like superpowers. I mean superhuman like super flawed. Totally opposite meaning. So anyways, let's make sure we see this. And every week you'll get a little better. Every time you do this, you'll get slightly more efficient. You'll get quicker, you'll get faster, you'll be more accurate, you'll get more specific.
Yes, ma'am. Looking forward to it.
It's probably one of the best things you can do for all the coaching, all the calls, all the stuff. Do this once a week. Just once.
Listen to Jenny, dude. I don't know what else to say.
Right. Okay. Do you see any other areas on here personally?
Yeah, I see areas to where prices touched, but like I say, so I would say right here, these two are almost together.
Yeah, I like that zone. I like it. Some people like go way overboard. Some people go way underboard. You're going to find the KP board that works for KP. And it may not be exactly like mine, but I'm not going to be sitting in your office with you. You are. So you have to see this with your eyes. And I can critique you and I can kind of give you some pointers. I'm sure somebody else can give you some pointers. But at the end of the day, it's still on you. So are you content with what you see right here on this 4-hour chart?
Yeah, for where price is now. Yeah.
Okay. So I am going to critique you just a little bit
Okay.
in the spirit of learning together. So whoopsie. Oh, silly me. Hold on. This was like a gray, right? Okay. So now that we have that, I'm going to grab another line. Actually, I'm going to not do that. I'm going to go to the annotation. This way it's more duplicatable. There we go. So I love your top zone. That's good, right? I love your bottom zone. It's good. I would have done the same thing. Price is right here. So I'll draw a little circle. Maybe. There we go. Price is here. So now that I know my top and my bottom, the most important things I'm looking for is I'm going to work my way out from where price currently is. Literally, that's what I'm going to do every time. So now to kind of go back to my little lines, the closest zone toward the bottom clearly is this one. We definitely have that little peak over there. And then this little peak here, super important area. And because we're literally pointed down and headed down, I want to know any other possible area. Again, not a perfect one, but I just want an idea, right? This isn't about perfection. It's about just, you want an idea. So this little peak over here on the very, very far left, because price is currently heading down and I want to know if it breaks this first line where the next possible target could be, I would pick that line too. Otherwise, I try to stick with something that is definitely touched more than once or twice. So that's kind of the way I see and do things. Now, again, moving from where price currently is to the upside, the next.
Can I ask you a question about the downside first?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so when you drew the circle and then I see the line, I saw that from the beginning, but I didn't draw it. So if you look, if price breaks through that first line that I did draw, you're looking for it to come through the second line and then you would get in after it goes through the second line, or would you just kind of say, okay, it broke through the first line, I'm just gonna ride this first line to the second line?
Let's see. Thank you, Donna. Whoops. Let's try that. There we go. Close that. Let me try again. No. So if price breaks through here, literally, if it breaks this, I'm trading it to here. Period. I'm trading it to here. If it breaks this, this is kind of a bigger zone. I would really want to see a pullback because this is gonna hurt. We're gonna feel this, but I'm trading it to here. That's it. Like every indicator, every strategy, every reversal or trend trading, if you can learn this one thing and learn to trust the system, you will be right so stinking often. One of two things is going to happen at these areas of interest. It's going to break, okay, in which case you're looking for a continuation, and then you'd be checking your triple arrows or your trend trading strategy or your Jenny's golden strategy for any new indicators or signals, if you will, that say, hey, we're going to sell, we're going to sell, we're going to sell. And you would keep taking them if you're scalping, or you take and hold if you're intraday trading, right? It's that simple. Or you're going to get a rejection. And remember, so let's say we get down here, we get a rejection. Okay, we don't break this area. We get a strong push to the upside. Hopefully, again, we want to retest. We want something that's going to pull back and confirm the move to the upside. But again, same story. We're going to wait till Jenny's golden strategy or the triple arrows or simplicity or your MACD or your fancy TDI or whatever it is your eyes and your spirit sees best. We're going to get that, wait till it lines up, and then we're going to take it up to the next zone. If we break the zone, we're going to be looking for more entries. If we break the next zone, we'll look for more entries.
Okay.
With me so far?
Yes, I'm with you.
Okay, so I'm going to go back to kind of drawing lines. Remember, I'm always going to start with where price currently is at. Always, always, always. Okay, I loved your top. I loved your bottom. Remember, I want something, and this isn't perfect. I'm kind of using the annotation tool. I want something that's going to be after that. If price is moving down, I want to know where I'm going. So imagine that a little lower, if you will, but to give you an idea. And then again, from the top sign, I love this one. This, the first one you have where above where price currently is at, but I would be looking for another one. Again, because this is a fast mover and I understand how much each one of these moves is worth, I'm going to be looking here. Okay. We have more than 2 touches there. So I know that's going to be a strong area. And honestly, it kind of comes all the way over to here. Odds are if we turn this to candles, we would see a lot of wicks in interaction on that. Same thing here. Here's another one you kind of missed. Ooh, silly me. I know there's an eraser. There we go.
She's so dope, dude.
There we go.
She's so dope.
Hey there.
Hi.
You doing good? So this is an area you kind of missed. See this?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4 touches in that area. Just to help you kind of see what I see. And
No,
again,
I'm great. Thank you. Yeah.
remember, the most important lines is the very top and the very bottom, and the couple above and the couple below where price is currently at. Now, clearly, we can keep marking over and over again as we see them and what have you all the way up. But for right now, we just need a few zones above and a few zones below, plus our top and plus our bottom.
Okay.
But now I'm going to have you go down to the 1 hour time frame.
Okay.
So I'm going to give you control. I'm going to stop touching my mouse.
Did it select it?
Darla's gonna hit me now, but I love her.
Go ahead, hit the 1 hour. Let's see if
No.
it's working.
I am collecting. I
Here.
am.
I might have broke it for you here. I think I did it. Let me see the mouse. We're
Okay.
fighting over the mouse.
I'll put
Hey, Lucas, honey, can you mute yourself?
Yes, I can. I'm
All
talking.
right. No, you're okay. Thank you. All right, now try. Let's see if I unbroke it for you.
Okay.
Oh, did it work?
It's not highlighted. There it is. There we go.
There you go. Good job. So now remember, you're going to go down to the bottom as just a rule of thumb. Make sure you refresh your chart. We'll keep going down. See that circle to the right?
Yes.
You want something consistent and duplicatable. So there you go. Kind of got a really good idea. You'll notice that these are a little bit off compared to what you were seeing on the 4 hour, and that's okay. I would definitely, for starters, drag and drop my top line and my bottom line closer to where price actually is now that we have a 1 hour view. There you go. Okay. So now we're kind of seeing what price is actively doing in this very red hot minute. So we literally are kind of rejecting off of that zone, if you will. So now that we see where price is at, do you see any other lines or areas of kind of interest where price is rejected, turned around to the top or bottom?
Yeah. Okay. This. Oh, I can drag these one. I can drag these though, right?
Yes, sir. You got it. And there's no such thing as perfection, not from me or anybody else.
Okay. How'd you do that little circle? Which one of these is that circle?
That was the annotate tool, but there's technically a circle in here too. That would be under the shapes where you see the square. You don't have to draw the circle if you don't want to, but you can if it helps you. So click anywhere on the black part. There you go. A change from the square. You'll have to, yep, there you go. Click on that. Maybe. Okay, click on the black part of the screen. It's probably going to draw one. Whoops, there you go. It's okay. If you let it go, you can delete it.
Okay.
There's a trash can on that little menu bar. Yeah. So now when you click up by that square, it should give you the option for a circle. There you go. And it's kind of funky, but you just kind of drag and drop it is the way it works. So there's our circle. And then release and then make it kind of fat. Oh, you just made it really tiny. It was very skinny. Very, very tiny. There you go. Now grab the center of that dot.
Okay.
Yo, learn to trade, dude.
It's okay. He's got it, I promise. Let's see. Pull it open. There you go. That's an ovally circle, but you got it.
It's in there.
You got it.
All right.
All right.
Okay. All right. Back to this.
You got it. Okay. So we've got our kind of our zone. We've got everywhere it's going. So we are rejecting off the bottom. Donna, please message kindly if you would. I would text message you, but I think you got it. So please kindly verbally message. Thank you. I appreciate you. Okay, cool. I like that one a lot. And you can see why, right? There's a ton of touches.
Yeah. All back through here.
So you can see like that's not KP's opinion or Jenny's opinion. Price has a strong area of interest in that area. So like it has a lot of action there. That's, you know, some people call it a hot zone. Some people call it something. Everyone's got a name for everything, and I can't keep up with all their names. So it's a cool point. Okay. It's a very important point. We just want an idea. That's all. Just a basic kind of idea. So I like how many you have on here thus far. I do. So you know that if we break through this next line and do push up, we're looking for where it's going to go to retest, and we want a really solid zone. So you know, if we break through 23595, we have a really good solid upswing. No, I probably see one more zone kind of in here. Yeah, just one more. Only because I know that this moves bajillions of pips, but if this was like, you know, CAD JPY, I wouldn't be nearly as worried. But since it's not CAD JPY, and I happen to know this is worth $1 bajillion, I'm going to be a little extra careful in terms of my lines.
Just bring this one down.
There you go. I like that one. I'd probably make it a little lower. Because remember, we want...
Like to right here?
Mm-hmm. Yep. So, and I'll show you what I see once you drop that or drop one of those. Pick your poison. There you go. Here's what I see. Okay. So if you turn the, if you real quick were to, here, I'm going to take control.
Okay.
I got the mouse, so you got to let it go. If you turn it back to candles, you're going to see that a lot of that interaction is just wicks. So you're going to see, so I'll bring it back to the line now real fast. This area, so price is here. This one right here, I'm going to move it up just a smidge. Price kind of rejected off of here and here. So anywhere in between these two little points, price obviously wicked. So I'm going to try to keep that one highlighted, take it to candles. That's kind of what we're looking at. So that just gives us a really fresh point to go to. That's really close to price. So again, back to the line chart, we're going to pop down now to the 15-minute time frame. We're going to refresh the bottom of the chart. So we know kind of where price is at. We have a really good, clear understanding that if now, depending on what happens, we can straighten up our lines a smidge if we wanted to. Always a little bit extra conservative is kind of how I like to do things personally. If I'm on the 15-minute time frame and I'm going to move one of these lines, I'm going to move it toward price. Okay, not away. Well, in this case, I'm going to straighten that one up and move it away because, well, that's where it just makes sense. But in this case, like I'm not going to follow all these ones. I'm going to follow this one down here. Probably draw one more. Maybe. There you go. So we know that if we do break above, here's our yellow circle. We are at an area of interest. Not quite. If we break above here, we have a very healthy zone here. If we break above here, we have a kind of thin zone. Again, we break above. We know where price is going each time. And again, I urge you not to listen to me. I want you to do this for yourself. And then literally there's a replay filter. Whatever. It's one of these. No, this one, bar replay. So for example, if you could decide to draw a chart, draw all of your lines from Sunday. So you can do this actually in today's time for last week if you wanted. But you can draw all of your lines based off the price being right here, for example. And you can replay the chart to literally watch them respect every single line. It's not going to be perfect. It's going to do stuff like this where it kind of bounces down and does its own thing, but you will see just how useful that is. So you think you kind of have a pretty clear understanding of that?
Yeah, with more practice.
Okay.
I mean, not just, not just one time, one shot Charlie. I wouldn't, I'll have to do it more. And so I'm going to go get this app and put it on my desktop.
It is. It's a free website. You don't have to pay for anything until you absolutely need it. You don't really need much unless you're going to trade on there. And I promise it's totally free. You should totally do it. So it's worth your time.
Now.
I recommend that if you're going to choose a certain broker when you type stuff in, make sure you choose the one that says Awanda. At least in my experience, somebody else may be different, but in my experience, that one is closest to price on Hugo's Way and AFX, and the most consistent, at least for me. For the brokers that I use, that's the one I like, because you'll notice that price is very different, well, reasonably different, enough on different ones, okay? But now that we have those, the next thing you're going to do, this is kind of ugly, a little hard to see, but very doable. So can you see any trend lines on this chart? There you go. You have control again. I refreshed it and you're at the 1 hour chart. Kind of gappy, kind of funky, but this is an index. So you picked it. You got to deal with it.
Okay.
in the most loving way, of course.
So I see a downtrend going here. I mean, I don't know how I would annotate that. Like, what am I using? The diagonal line now?
Yep.
Okay.
Trend line, top line.
Trend line. Okay. Okay, trend line.
So same thing. So practice saying 1, 2, run it through. So you need at least 2 touches, right? And if you don't like doing this with the candles, some of us don't, we can go back to the line chart. So it kind of takes the whole second guessing of, do I include the wicks? Do I not include the wicks? Does this matter? Does this matter? It takes all the drama out, but you need 1, 2 to run it through.
Oh, hold on. I thought that was it.
You're okay. No one on here is judging you. We're just hanging out. If this wasn't recorded on YouTube, we put on some tunes and, just have a good old time.
Okay, now can I drag this to a little bit more?
Yes, sir. Not bad.
Okay, I only see 2 touches on this one.
Do you want to maybe take a peek at the line chart to get an idea?
Okay.
So go up to the very top and click on line. Yeah. That might give you a healthier kind of view. At least it does for me. And again, if you don't like the way this looks, you can go up a time frame or down a time frame until you see the clarity you need to see. I like that within reason. There's no such thing as perfect, I promise. So don't overthink it. Don't think that you have to be perfect, because you don't.
Yeah, this is okay.
Well, wait, once you pop it back on candles, you're gonna see that those little peaks are probably candles. They're probably wicks.
Okay.
So don't over analyze it. You're just looking for 1, 2, run it through.
I got 1. Hold on, let me see how many I got here. I got 1 right here at the top.
Mm-hmm.
Almost 3, and then definitely 3.
I'd count that like as 5 or 6.
Okay. When you say 1, 2, 1 it through, what does that mean?
Okay, my turn. Here, I'm gonna do my get to touch now. Me. So 1, 2, odds are that's 1. Odds are that's 1. This maybe. There you go. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, potentially 6. So let's take a peek. I'm gonna clear all my drawings, my nonsense. Close this. Go there. So definitely 1, 2. This definitely touched. This is a weird gap, but this is an index again. So if it was me and I'm just looking to drag and drop this, first off, I'm going to drag this stinking box out of my way. It's one of those things about TradingView that's not fun. Got to move it out of the way because it's really intrusive, at least for me. So I'm going to kind of touch up what I would see personally.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to start it there. Kind of how I would see it personally. So I don't need to touch the top as much as I need to touch the first touch, right? That's kind of how I see it. So what I'm trying to show you is we have a trend line, right? We have zones. We have not a single indicator on this chart. There is literally nothing on here. You know that every time you break a zone, you know where it's going next, provided these were, assuming we had these drawn from last week, for example. And then you also know not a single indicator, nothing in sight, nothing on here whatsoever. You have enough of a story right here that you have wicks to the downside. And granted, this is a messy, choppy pair. But you've got a doji, if you know anything about candle formations. You've got a lot of wicks. You've got vectoring. You've got maybe tweezers. You've got whatever the three soldier stuff is. I don't want to super overcomplicate it. But most importantly, you've got rejection off of a zone, break of a trend line. That's all we need, right? So we rejected off of a zone. We broke a trend line. So we would take a buy. When we broke this trend line, with this area, we would take a buy. So then again, what happens when we kind of get to this point? We are now officially starting a trend line. I personally don't see enough here, so I'd have to go down a time frame for my own personal charting needs. Okay, so provided we stay on top of that, which again, we wouldn't know that's there. At the time, we'd probably have it somewhere along here. So provided we stay above this trend line, every time we break a zone, we take a buy. Break a zone, we retest. Not a lot, but we do. We take a buy. We are breaking a zone, not closing above it, up, all the way pull back, and that's it. And you keep doing this over and over again. So I'm going to go back to the 1 hour chart. I'm going to refresh the bottom. You're looking for no indicators, just basic trading. And if you guys can understand this, you can understand every indicator and every trading strategy, because this should be the foundation of any indicator and any trading strategy. So again, you have some areas of interest drawn out. Where's the next trend line you see? We're going to have chop in the center. I'm going to give you back the mouse. Do you see any other trend lines?
Yeah. So when you say we have chop, that's just basically it going up and down in price. Price going up and down is very jumpy. So but this is a little one here, and then back up this way.
Oh, I don't see your mouse. Try again.
Oh, sorry. So what I was saying is, so when you say choppy, that just means it's going up and down. It's hard to tell which direction it really wants to go in.
I mean, yeah, it's consolidating in a zone. I don't even know if I'd qualify that as consolidating. There's only a few ways to define the market accurately, and you're either trending or you're consolidating. So if we can't get a clear trend off of that, which we can't, so you have an impulse move to the downside, right? You have a push to the top side. So there's, in this center here, we don't have enough to define, okay, well, we broke out. I mean, we could technically count it as that. I mean, if we wanted to, and this is where we're looking, we would see the breakout, you know, and that's a huge retest. But in general, we have here, I'll delete the one I drew. Delete that one. Where's the next trend line that you see on this chart?
Besides the one that you just drew, this one right here. Besides the one you just drew, this one right here.
Okay. So do you see where it broke? So let's draw a trend line. So we're going up. We know that every retest we can test to take as a buy. Then any break, we're going to sell. Again, we need it to line up with the zone. If we get a signal on an indicator, if we get a signal from a trend line break, it only counts when that happens in an area of interest. If it happens, you know, in some desert area that has no significance, it doesn't matter. Downtrends, trend line should be on the top. Uptrends, trend line should be on the bottom.
Wait a minute. That was wicked.
It's okay. So downtrends, trend line should be on the top. Uptrends, trend line should be on the bottom of candles.
Okay. So
You need it underneath price. Yep, there you go. Kind of perfect.
Well, all I can say is thank God, because I'm really just good night.
It's okay. We all know you're remoting in, and that's not fun to begin with. So you kind of have a really great breakout, right, of that zone, of that trend line. And you broke the zone. So two things happened, right?
Okay, what two things?
So I'm going to take my annotation tool. I got to pick a different color. I'm so plain. I like my simple colors. Okay. So we broke a trend line. That's fantastic. We also broke below on a zone. So if you want your aggressive, your faster entry, this is it, right? If you want your more confirmed entry, you want it to retest. You have another one. Ooh, that was really big and gumpy. So your faster entry, there you go. You can wait for a retest as a second entry, right? It came back up and rejected. You have that nice kind of rejection candle, another entry. And you are officially kind of going down. So now we need the same thing to happen for the uptrend. Before we go looking for a buy on any of these indexes, which I'm sure half of the world is looking for, we would have to pop down to a lower time frame, make a trend line, wait for the break, right? We want to wait for the confirmation. That is our job, is to not decide where the market's going, but we would wait, as in get good at waiting. Very, very good at waiting. Okay. So if we went down, for example, to the 15-minute time frame, that's too heavy of a drop to probably get a really good trend line from it, but comparable story. We would definitely need it. Again, too big of a drop. This is the kind of thing you'd have to wait and wait and wait and wait.
For it to come back up, right?
Yeah, you need it. You need something that can retest. And right now, the market isn't going to give you much it can retest without, whoopsie. I mean, we can't use that. I mean, that's not going to work, right? That's pretty far away. I mean, we can assume it retests this much. I mean, as a best guess, but that's not necessarily actual charting as much as it is just kind of fishing in the dark. Gives us an idea of where our next zone would be. So if we do keep getting the push up, we have an idea. We kind of be consolidating, playing around, and retest this trend line. But for right now, we don't have any new valid trend lines at all, even on the 1 minute time frame, because that drop was too steep. It was too powerful, right? Do you see what I see?
Not really. Just to be honest with you,
Well, geez, KP, at least you could work with me. Holy cow.
I'm still trying to train my eye. I'm still trying to train my eye.
It's okay. I'm picking on you. I'm picking on you. Okay, so listen. Very, very simple. You found your support and resistance zone. So let's walk through one more time what you just did. And this will take you, give or take, an hour once you become proficient. It's very, very feasible. So again, we started with the 4-hour time frame. We went to the line chart, right? We decided some zones. That's all we did. Okay. Now that is such not the right zones on the 4-hour time frame, but we got an idea where price currently is. Okay.
Yes.
That's all we did. We went to the 1 hour. We straightened up those prices and got a couple more areas of interest, some support and resistance. We see that price is currently here. We know we're at the time kind of currently moving up to give us an idea of what's going on. I don't know why I typically skip the 30-minute in terms of charting, but if you couldn't find many areas on the 1 hour and the 4 hour, you can clearly go to the 15-minute. That's totally fine too. Or you can stay on the 30. I mean, it's totally up to you at the end of the day. We went down to the 15 to kind of get an idea. And now we know each zone that is going to be significant. And all we're going to do for every strategy, whether it's the golden strategy, the triple arrows, a fractal break, whether it's a day trading or a Bollinger Band, a TDI, it doesn't matter which strategy you use. You're only looking for signals at make, break, rejections of trend lines and support and resistance. That's it. So if you get a signal and you're not at an area of interest, you don't want to take that because it's just going to keep pushing. If you get a signal and you don't know where the next target is, or you haven't broken a current trend line or retested it, you know not to take it. You with me so far?
Mm-hmm.
It's like on my strategy, as you know, we would get a signal somewhere in here, right? We would get our first kind of entry, give or take, depending on other factors. But every single one of these is a re-entry. Re-entry. I mean, every single one of these little pullbacks is a re-entry over and over and over again. So we know that. And I think you're comfortable enough with that strategy to know that, right?
Yeah, I'm getting there. I'm
Okay.
getting it.
The same thing with the triple arrows. Let's say if we got a triple arrow or a new simplicity signal here, great. But we want to trust it when it breaks the trend line, okay? We want to trust it when it breaks out of a certain zone. That's all. That's kind of the entire lesson of the entire call. And the more you guys realize that, even for the triple arrow system. So here, I'm going to not make a perfect system. Let's assume we got a signal. Again, this is not perfect. This is ugly. This is messy. Messy. So we had a triple arrow system here, arrow alert or a simplicity alert. We want to know that we're not going to take that trade until we break out of a certain zone. We desperately need it to break. Come on, silly booty. An area before we take it. So if this is our triple arrow, we broke above a zone, cool. But we don't want to just take, we want to know where when we have enough room to take it. So what we're looking for is obviously a break of certain zones and a break of a trend line. Now you know that you're going to actually get a run. That's how you see it out of the really bad trades. Not 100%, but if you learn this stuff, you'll have a 90%-ish, give or take, trading accuracy on most things you try.
Okay, so just to go over what you just said. So if I was doing triple arrow, I get the triple arrows saying buy, this saying it broke through right here. So that's not enough. But when it gets here, because we drew a trend line.
Well, hey, wait. I don't see what you see. Try again.
Oh, sorry about that.
There you go.
Okay, so if we have a triple arrow going up, right?
Mhm.
So even though it broke through right here, we're saying let's be patient enough till it gets to this area right here, which is another price box that we drew, and the trend line is there from where it touched here, almost there, and right here. So once it breaks this way horizontally, and then this trend line, that's when we have enough traction that says it's going to go up. We can get in at that point.
Yes. Well, let me clarify. Please write this down or listen to this recording. If I'm trading a reversal system, so that means I'm trading, waiting for price to stop doing what it's doing. Let's be very specific. So a reversal system, such as the triple arrows, such as simplicity, right? What I need to see happen, rain, pour, or shine, is a break of a trend line. Anything less than a break of a trend line on a reversal system, you very well could be only getting in on a pullback and ultimately will take a loss more often than not, right? So to be very specific, any trading strategy or system that you use that is a counter trend trading reversal based system, okay? That means you're expecting whatever is happening to stop happening at point X. My primary, most important confirmation above all else is a break of a trend line, because anything less, sorry, I'm saying this again, is literally, you could just very easily be, well, you'll buy this pullback, and you'll have been wrong. You'll have been wrong. Be wrong, right? So that's rule number one in terms of trading a trend trading system. Okay, there's a big difference. What you're looking for in terms of the trend line is a retest of the trend line is an ideal entry. Kind of like we know our moving averages are dynamic support and resistance. A retest of the 50 is an ideal entry. So a retest of the trend line. So we are currently trending up. Every pullback toward the 50, for example, toward the trend line, for example, is a new possible entry. And then of course, that's when the breaking through a new zone, you know, you're still going. Break through a new zone, you know, you're still going. But that's the different ways to see the trend lines in terms of a trend trading system or a counter trend trading system.
And sorry, forgive me for being a novice here, but how would I know if a system is counter or pro trend trading line? How would you know that?
You have to know that. What do you mean? What do you mean? Hold on. Rephrase your question so I can hopefully answer it.
Okay, you were saying that um
If the system you're trading is a counter trend trading system,
yes, how would you know if it's a counter trend trading system? I mean, would you just ask the creator of the system? I mean, how would I know that?
you got to know that. So if your system is telling you to sell anywhere in this market, it is a counter trend trading system. This is a completely upward market, right?
Of course, yes, I see.
If your system, for example, some people try to time highs and lows. If you're like the WM person who says, "Oh, we touched off the bottom, we have to turn around here." So a rejection strategy is typically a counter trend trading system. The triple arrows, the simplicity is a counter trend trading system. Anything that expects price to stop doing what it's currently doing. So that, for example, means price is going down. Your system or your signals is all of a sudden telling you to buy. Price is going down. Your system and your signal is telling you to buy. Your system and your signal is telling you to buy in a downward trending market.
Okay.
In a trending strategy, if the price is going up, it's telling you to go up. If the price is going down, it's all of the indicators and all of the signals are telling you to go down. It's telling you to follow price, not for it to turn around and stop doing what it's doing. It's telling you it's going to keep doing what it's doing. It's the exact opposite.
Okay.
So that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm yeah, now it does that you explained it. I'm just, like I said, I'm a month in, so I really, I'm still, it's a lot to learn. So
It is. And at first it's Chinese. I mean, it was beyond Chinese for me for the longest time. And I was the person who was probably obnoxious, too many questions, very deeply rooted lack of understanding in so many words because I wanted to do it right. I mean, I wanted to get it right. So I commend you for stepping out and learning. It's going to be a pain at first. It's going to be, well, I thought this person said that, and I thought this means that, and I thought this was that. And every time you think you know something, it's going to be just like, grammar school. You evolve on every thought you grow through. Every thought you gain, you should essentially evolve. So it should improve and increase in understanding
okay.
in time. Just remember to take a break from the chart every, so many days. As in, don't watch, don't listen, don't chart. Gotcha.
Yes, I understand.
All right. Do you guys have any comments, questions in terms of charting, in terms of finding a trend, in terms of knowing what you're doing on a completely naked chart with no indicators? Anybody at all?
Hey, Jenny. Hi.
Hi, Dorian. How have you been?
Very good. How are you?
I'm doing good. I am.
I read the Telegram. I'm gonna pray for you. Okay.
Thank you. I super appreciate it.
You're welcome. One thing that you were right about getting away from the charts. That's when That's when I had what I call several epiphanies about back in December, November. And it was the harmonic indicator that helped. But what I also did that helped me on my MT4 is I put on an indicator that says show weeks. So it shows the days of the week. So when you put on your period separators, that indicator at the top will tell you which day is Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And I'm going to place an emphasis again on what you and Pat also place an emphasis on, studying market structure, price action, the market maker method, because there are patterns, right? Because the industry is built around our habits that we're taught, and we're taught to lose on purpose. That way it makes it easy for them to take our money. And now if they could study us, then it makes perfect sense that we could also study them, because like I said, there's patterns in the market. That show weeks indicator, it will help you see patterns. Basically, like I already marked up. I do that a lot too. Now I do mark up my chart with trend lines and zones. And if you notice, um, you're not going to see a trend up until about Tuesday, because Friday, Sunday, Monday is when that trend is being created. They create that trend for us because they know that we're taught to look for that. That's opportunity for us, and they could hold that trend for as long as they want, and that's where market manipulation comes into play. It's like fishing. You know, you have your hook with the worm on it, and you just let it float in water, and you just wait for the fish to see that opportunity. And when they bite, you yank on it. So market structure is the pattern, you know, so that's the consolidation, and then that consolidation is what creates that pattern. And they create that pattern because I told my friend, right, we have this app. I think I sent you a picture from the app that I use to learn how to scout, called Trader Trainer. And if you read the review on, I think it's the Google Play Store, it says that price does not move in any particular order, right? So it's free of manipulation. And I said to my friend, because I do a lot of critical thinking, I said, okay, if you think about it, right, we have these patterns that are created on the chart, whether it's a wedge or what do you call it, ascending triangle, right? And I said, if you think about it, how is it that price can create these patterns? You know, there's got to be something or someone behind it that's controlling that. So yeah, it makes perfect sense. You know, there's someone every time price moves, if there's a push or a pull, there's a dealer behind it, you know, and wherever there are zones of equity or what I call areas of consolidation, support, or resistance, those are where you're going to find your pending orders, whether they're sells or buys, and price is pushed in that direction to activate those orders and to also take out stops. So they're killing two birds with one stone. And what they're doing is they're creating what they call the dumb money trend. The dumb money trend is what I stated before: Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. And then that drop, right, the large move is what they call the smart money trend. So, and they need to shake you off too. They don't want anyone following the smart money trend. That's why, especially with the GBP pairs, you're gonna see the either the head and shoulder or the M&W patterns at reversal points, you know, because they push price up to induce buyers, then they bring it down to trap them, and then they come down to also activate buys again, pushing it up, and then they bring it back down. So once you learn all of this, it really opens your eyes. And that's why Pat and you were telling everyone, you don't have to trade every day. And I never understood what he meant when he said patience, patience, patience. Well, it makes perfect sense, because you just stay out of the market. You wait for the market makers to do their manipulation. Then you hop into the trade, you know, and they're, like I said, when they push the price up, that's where those are the wicks, those are the stop hunts. And the reversal is, there are candlestick patterns, confirmations that you look for. One of them, like I stated before, was the morning star and the evening star. And then you have the doji morning star and doji evening star and others. So it's important to learn price action as well.
And candlesticks, like Japanese candlesticks, are really important too.
Yep. One book I recommend is, well, if people don't have the PDF that's been passed around, is a Japanese candlestick charting. That's the very first book that I had purchased, right, when I first started learning how to day trade. And then I got caught up like everyone else. You know, it's like a kid in a candy store. You see all these name of books that people are dropping. You go to Amazon. And then when I finally got back to the Japanese candlestick charting, I could have just hit my head up against the wall, because I realized this is the only book I ever needed. Yeah. And but the trading in the zone is also a good one. I listened to that in the audio format.
Hey, so that one charting with Japanese candlesticks, I'm
Mhm.
guessing you would want the actual book because that's got mostly images, right?
It has the images. It even goes over your MACD and your RSI and explains those oscillators. So it's a really good book, and I would highly recommend it.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Jordan, for coming out. I super appreciate you.
You're welcome.
Thank you for hanging out.
You're welcome. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Jenny.
Thank you. All right. Does anybody else have any questions, comments? Otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and post this recording. Guys, I know we keep doing this and it sounds so simple, but what if this is simple? I mean, I can't be any more real or human with you guys to say that this is literally all it is. We complicate it. We buy stuff. We define it. I've got a good friend of mine who's a great trader, but their strengths is they can flip a six-figure account. They've done it. They can do it effectively, and they're good at it. So the psychology is good, but then they're the people who are hopping between system and system, constantly got a new indicator. Well, this one, is a VWAP. This one's really important. This is a volume weighted EMA. It's life changing, right? We're always looking for the new, the next, the whatever, versus just realizing, I promise you, if you understand some basic support, some trend lines, and even have a reasonably decent anything that you see, it could be something even I hate. Maybe it's TDI, maybe it's RSI, like maybe it's just a single EMA, maybe it's nothing. But if you understand the most basic stuff like candlesticks, like trend lines and support and resistance, there is little else you will need, and there is a very low likelihood that you will consistently lose if you just learn this much. So I'm going to keep doing this on Tuesdays for anybody who wants to come out and maybe find the trend lines next time. Maybe next time we can use this little cool bar paint feature so we can see that if we started this markup here, for example, would those zones be, respected had we done this on Sunday? And you guys can see that live in real time, just how accurate this stuff is. It's not perfect. I'm never going to claim perfection, but it's accurate. So that's it. That's all I've got for tonight. And I hope you guys all have an amazing, awesome night. Thank you for all the prayers and the love. If you guys are in the advanced membership group, we will be live tomorrow morning. I'm looking for some NAS trades. Be careful if you're going to keep following that sell, man. That's no joke. Hold on. Actually, I'm going to take a look at that real quick because I want it. So if you guys want to see what it's doing as badly as I do.
Good evening, Jenny. How are you?
Wonderful. And yourself?
I'm good. My name is Antoine. I'm actually new to the group. I actually just joined today. It was real unfortunate the day that I joined. I heard the news about your brother. So my family and I will definitely be praying for your brother and their family as well. And everybody else who was involved in the accident.
Well, thank you. I the prayers I think mean the world to me. They mean the most. So thank you so very much.
Yeah. So quick question. Your classes in the morning, what are the days that you actually do your live trading classes?
Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday for now. By the end of May, I'm going to go back to Tuesday and Thursday. On average, I think we on average find about 3 trades in the morning. I think we lost 1 trade. I was trying to figure out how many weeks it had been since we lost 1 trade.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to be wrong, but it was like close to a month, give or take. And we find on average about 3 in the morning. So that's give or take 10 perfect trades in a week, most weeks. Not always. They can't always be perfect. Let's just be human. But we're doing pretty good. And I think that we have an amazing group of like-minded, good people who are growing and are willing to look at different pairs. So it's not just me. There are some other really brilliant people in there who create indicators and who see things in a slightly different way, who are, in Singapore, and they're just constantly volunteering their time. So it's an amazing group of people who are either making 6 figures or on their way to 6 figures. And it's great. So if you're not in there, you definitely should be in there.
Oh yeah, I definitely want to be in there. You said Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. What time?
That's 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
I'll say, okay. All right, so that's my time. All right, cool, perfect. Well, I will definitely see you tomorrow morning.
That's awesome. It's a little different than this. It's a lot more outspoken, lots of people talking versus just me talking. In fact, I even sneak away sometimes and go get coffee, or you know.
All right, cool,
So, yeah.
cool. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Sure.
Uh-huh. And you already know, Derek. But so I also use coffee as a reason to go, you know, be a female. And so as far as you guys know, I'm just getting coffee 24/7. But I actually might have had to, you know, just saying there are other things.
Right. Okay. It was definitely great talking with you and meeting you, and I'm looking forward to working with you.
Well, you as well, you guys. I hope you guys all have an amazing night. Good night, everyone. Sweet dreams, and I will talk to you in the morning.
Thank you. Good night, everyone. Good night, Jen.
All right.
Thank you.